Hi, I'm Jonathan with Valorous Circle, and today Jen Kok from Next Wave Business Coaching and I are going to talk about how to find the right employees. In today's market, it's really difficult to be able to hire. And so we're going to talk today about some of the best practices you can follow and a few tips and maybe even tricks that you can use in order to find those employees and fill the need you have for your business. So with that, Jen, would you tell me just a little bit about Next Wave Coaching and what you guys do?
I'd love to. Thank you, Jonathan. So I am a business coach, and what I do is my specialty is helping small business owners that are in that 0 to 5 year mark start to improve their day-to-day operations, grow their revenue, improve their profits. But really the goal is to, how do I start to transition from being in the business to being a business owner and working on the business?
Awesome. Thank you. Well, one of the things that you and I talked about before recording the video today, Jen, was just the fact that it's no longer an employee or employer market. It's an employee market. And really businesses need to make changes to reach out and really market themselves just as we are when we're looking for new customers. We really need to be looking for new employees and marketing the same way. And part of that's just identifying that audience. Can you talk to me a little bit about how does a business owner figure out who they should be marketing those jobs to, and what does that look like?
You hit it on the head. We've transitioned from being about the employer to being about the employee. Every business owner I talk to right now, the number one problem that's coming up for them is finding employees, but then also finding the right employees. There's nothing more frustrating than hiring somebody, training them to find out they're not a right fit, and they end up leaving. So, we always look at our business with a target market to build our business, which this is your wheelhouse, Jonathan. How do we reach the customers we want, right? We create this avatar or this demographics of the ideal customer. Well, now I think we have to do that for our employees too, because we need to find the ideal employee that's going to fit our business.
When a business owner is doing that, when we work as a marketing agency, when we work with clients, it's often pretty easy to go, okay, who is that target audience you want to sell to, and what do they look like? And if we're creating a persona or avatar, what is that in general? What are those characteristics of the perfect customer? But I don't think a lot of us have really thought about that on the perfect employee side, and it probably changes based on the type of position that we're hiring for. From your perspective, what types of questions should we as business owners be asking ourselves and trying to answer so that we understand who it is that we're trying to market those jobs to?
Well, first of all, I think you have to look at yourself as a company. That's kind of the first step. So when you ask employees in general, the statistics of what we're seeing of what they want today, they want a company that aligns their culture, aligns with who they are. So culture is this buzzword that we're hearing, and it's here to stay. And, what does that mean? That means what is important to you as a business owner? What is important to you for your company? Are you community focused? Are you an innovative type of a business? What is your culture? And it's important that we spend some time as business owners to kind of reflect in and look at what type of an organization we've created. The other thing that employees are looking for is values, their personal values. Are they caring? Are they risk takers? Decision oriented? How does your personality of your company align with the personality of your employees? And what's interesting, I know we're all hearing about the great resignation, right? All these employees have left. A lot of them have been people that took early retirement. Well, they're going to go out into retirement and think, okay, this is a lot of fun. I love this, but they're not going to be able to do that for long. And they might find, I want to go do something maybe part-time or, learn something new. So when you start thinking about who's a good fit for your company, start within. Look at your company, look at what your values are, look at what your culture is, what's important to you as an organization, and then ask your current employees, why do you like working here? What is it about it that keeps you working here?
Oh, really good points. Really good points. Jen, one of the things I know that we often talk again with clients, and we compare this to the marketing to customer side, but is that you need different messages for different customer groups, depending on who you're going after. I'll give you an example. We have a client we work with, and they have really two different demographic segments. They're both women, but one is women in their 20s and other is women in their 30s. And you may say, oh, that's the same thing. But we find as we do that research that those are two different values, two different spots in life, two different priorities in general, again, that women of those different ages have. Do we need to do the same thing when we're looking at our employee positions? And, maybe I guess it's an obvious answer, but if I'm hiring for a management level position, that target's probably going to be different than if I'm hiring for an entry level or clerical, correct?
Absolutely. So what I would suggest doing is take each open position and look at it with fresh eyes in two different categories. The first category is the hard skills. So hard skills are those actual things that the employee needs to know to do that job. So for instance, in your business, if you needed somebody to develop website design, that would probably be really hard to teach me. Like, I don't know the first thing about website design. So you're going to really want somebody that has some experience in website design or data, so those are the hard skills, something that really you can't teach. But then more importantly, look at it with fresh eyes with soft skills. And soft skills go back to, do you need somebody who's a really good problem solver? Do you need somebody that loves teamwork? Are you looking for someone who's really innovative? So those are things that when you hear the word soft skills, that's something that could be applied to them outside of work or inside of work. And then ask yourself, of the open positions, how much am I willing to train? Because people right now are eager to learn something new. A lot of them have left their old position and they don't know if they want to go back to that, but they need to know that they have somewhere else to go and that you're willing to train them. So I think that's one of the first steps in evaluating your open positions and how to find the right people. And like you said, each position is going to be different depending on the level and depending on the need and the job that they're going to be serving.
A really good point on the soft skills in particular, that what are those soft skills that are going to make that employee successful in this position, even if they need to be trained on a couple things. That leads me to the job description. So, we're now creating a marketing piece that potential employee is going to read, and we want them to that description to be so compelling, I guess, that they go, wow, I've got to work for Next Wave. How does somebody write a compelling job description? I mean, does it involve storytelling? Do we share more of our background? Kind of give me as you can, where do we start and what's that look like, I guess, Jen?
Well, it's interesting because the latest statistic that I just read is employees want 96% transparency. So what does that mean? They want to know.
What's the 4% non-transparency? Yes.
Right. So they want to know what's going on. They want to know the behind the scenes. They want to know, where is this company going as a whole? Does that mean as business owners, we share every detail of the business with them? No, but they do want to know what's the 5-year plan? Where does the company want to do? What's the next steps for the company? They want to be involved. So I think we need to transition that also into our job postings. It's almost like HR and marketing need to come together. And so, for instance, storytelling is a great example. How can you share what the day in the life of that position is going to look like at that company? How can you share what to expect? How can you share where the company is going in 5 years? And this is where social media comes in, which is obviously your expertise, because 79% of today's job applicants are using social media. So the first thing I suggest is let's just start with a job posting. I see over and over and over, most of the job postings are employer focused. So what does that mean? They're listing customer service person, qualifications need to be, job duties include. To me, that's really boring. It's like, okay, blah, blah, blah. So what if we transition that job posting into more of a story, more of an employee focused? So it's a customer service position. Let's say it's at a bakery. Why not lead the job posting with something like, does the smell of baked cookies bring you back home to baking in the kitchen with grandma? Do you love to make people's day? Is bringing smiles to somebody part of something you would love to do and get paid for? That's just a really simple, analogy, but flip the script, make it catchy, like a marketing campaign. Because I would, most marketing campaigns are going to lead with what the consumer wants. We'll lead with what the employee wants.
It really reminds me of going back to the hook that we talk about so often when we're marketing, which is what's that hook that's going to get that buyer's attention or that prospect's attention so that they're then going to spend enough time reading it. I love the example you gave of, does the smell of fresh baked cookies remind you of, baking cookies with grandma? It changes that mindset from I'm just looking at another dry, cold job description into, wow, this would be a great place to work. This would be a great experience. And I know one of the things we even see with our team, and we've got a great team, but they're very interested in the experience of working for you and the experiences that they're going to gain, both skill-wise and just life experience by being part of the team. Are you seeing that across the board?
Exactly. Yes, very much so. In fact, we talk a lot about, used to be customer service is now transitioning to customer experience because customers have a lot of choices, just like employees have a lot of choices. So use your marketing to your benefit to attract those potential customers, obviously, and employees. And, it starts today because, I talk about the great resignation. At some point, there's going to be a great return. People are going to return to work. And today, as a company, I suggest starting your marketing campaign by talking about you as a company so that when people are ready to come back to work, your company is going to, bubble to the top as one of the top companies they would prefer to work for.
Yeah, position yourself now so you're ready and ahead of that game.
Exactly.
Well, I think these are some amazing tips, and I think it really is beneficial. You had shared with me that you've got a guide on how to create the right type of a job description. Can you tell me a little bit about that and how people can go ahead and get that? I know we're going to provide the link to that, but tell them a little bit about that free guide.
The free guide's just going to walk you through those questions to think about, kind of what we talked about, but it's going to help you. It's going to prompt you to think a little bit more about your business and how you can start crafting that job posting. And it's also going to talk about social media, which, Jonathan, this would be somewhere you could add on. You need to go, let's say your best customer, they're on Facebook. Well, that doesn't mean your best employee might not be on Facebook. I am seeing businesses create TikTok videos to attract employees if that's where their target employee is hanging out. So the guide is just going to take you through those questions and prompt you to just think internally and maybe think about a few things because, just to get a little creative with this area because we're really transitioning into a new way of thinking as a hiring manager.
No, that's great. I appreciate you making that available to everybody that's watching the video. If you're not familiar with Jen, take some time and go check out her business at Next Wave Business Coaching and download that free guide. I've known Jen for many years, and I can promise you that guide's going to be full of information that's going to help you write great job descriptions and better position yourself, as Jen talked about, to take advantage of that great return, which is, I believe, just around the corner here. So definitely do that. Jen, thanks again for your time today. I really appreciate it. Appreciate you sharing your expertise and all that. And again, just really grateful that you're taking the time to join us today.
Well, thank you so much for having me. And also, I just appreciate your resources and guiding us on how to digital market with social media and website and making sure that we're positioned properly there too. So I look forward to having my clients refer to you for your expertise as well. So I really appreciate that.
Well, we always appreciate the referrals and thank you very much. Well, thank you for watching today's video. Jen and I really appreciate your time and we wish you the best as you work to find the right employees for your business. Make it a great day.